All right, I believe I got this. A lot to know about these two great guys. All right, Marvin, you got those clips ready? The pilot clip is first. That's a funny one. That's super funny. Okay, you got them ready? Okay, let's do it, okay? Let's do it. Good afternoon. I'm Steve S.H. Walters reporting for Breaking News 500 here in Vero Beach, Florida. Today's topic is two great talented men, Dean Martin and Foster Brooks. Now, before we get on to Dean Martin and Foster Brooks, take a couple seconds, folks, and give us a subscribe if you haven't subscribed. We really appreciate you, and it helps keep this content coming your way. And thank you to all our loyal subscribers. You guys are awesome. You're the backbone of Breaking News 500. And now we're going to get on to this report. But first, we're going to start with Foster Brooks. And then we're going to get to a great clip with him and Dean Martin. Now, Foster Brooks was born in Louisville, Kentucky in 1912. He was a child singer on the radio. Then he would move to New York State, where he worked in Buffalo and Rochester as a disc jockey and a newscaster. And down the line, he became a member of a Western vocal group called the High Hatters. In 1960, he decided to move to LA to go for his goals as a comedian and actor. Well, once he got to LA, he found out even though he had this experience, it wasn't so easy for him. He struggled for about 10 years. He got small parts on Bewitched, The Munsters, Monkees, a few other shows, made some money, but not making any real money. And at that time, he was drinking a little bit. And, he's this lovable drunk. Well, here's the thing, he was hurting financially, so he made a bet with a friend for $10 that he would give up drinking, give up cigarettes, and he could win that bet. Well, he won the bet, and he never returned to drinking. Talk about willpower, folks. That's some willpower. Now, during the course of his struggle, he ended up landing an opening act for Perry Como in Las Vegas. And that ended up leading him to get onto The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Now, once he appeared on The Tonight Show, he was a hit, and his career took off. Now, during the 70s and 80s, that's when Foster Brooks was at his most popular, at his peak. And I had an opportunity to see him, folks, but I blew it. Well, you see, here's what happened. I was in Las Vegas with a girlfriend of mine, and we were at the Frontier Hotel and Casino, and Foster Brooks was performing there. And we seen the theater right over there where he's performing, and he got, billboards up about his whole show and everything, and I wanted to go see him. Well, I was playing blackjack, and I had a drink, and I was relaxing, and my girlfriend was over there playing the one-armed bandits, and his voice came over the loudspeaker as I was playing blackjack. You know how he is. He's kind of like, "Hey, everybody, it's me, Foster Brooks, And I got a show that's about to start in about 10 minutes, and you can still get a ticket if you like, and come and see me. I promise I'll give you a great show." That type of a thing. And I'm listening to him on the loudspeaker, and I'm playing blackjack, and I'm laughing. I'm thinking, I got to go see his show. So I wrapped up my hand, took my drink, went over and found my girlfriend. She's winning on the slot machine. She's all excited, talking to her about the Foster Brooks show. Somehow we got misguided, and we never went and saw the show. We should have went and saw the show, folks. It would have been great. Foster Brooks is always great and puts on a great show. We missed that opportunity. But anyway, Foster Brooks became a huge, huge success and known as the lovable drunk. Now, in 1997, he was inducted into Buffalo's Broadcast Hall of Fame. He was married twice, and he had 6 children. In 2001, he passed away at the age of 89 in Encino, California, from heart failure. What a very talented and creative man. Now, we've got a clip with him and Dean Martin, and you're going to laugh. Get ready to laugh, folks, because it's off the charts funny. I love this clip. I'm laughing already because I know the clip. Are you ready, Marv? All right. Roll the clip.
Haunted mansion. Frank Sinatra took a girl there last week, and it scared the pants off him. At least that's what he told the judge. But, Frank is a different kind of guy. Usually,
excuse me, have you ever been in Schenectady?
Oh, I never was in Schenectady.
Neither was I. Must have been a couple other guys. But I still have a feeling I've seen your face someplace else.
No, it's always been right here. Right on the top of my neck. Maybe you've seen me on television.
Oh no, I've never been on television. Say, is it all right if I join you? I just dropped in for a little drink to settle my nerves before I go to work.
What sort of work do you do?
I'm an airline pilot.
Well, how did you get to be an airline pilot?
I used to be a bus driver. But I quit. Too many drunks on the road.
What do you think about that clip? Funny clip. Yeah, let's get off the roads as a bus driver because there's so many drunks on the road and put you up on the sky as a pilot. That's what we need, a drunk pilot. These guys are so great, so creative, and so funny. Such talented men. Now we're going to touch on Dean Martin. Dean Martin was born Dino Paul Crocietti in Steubenville, Ohio in 1917. He only spoke Italian to the age of 5. He did some boxing, he was a steel mill worker, he worked at a gas station, he was a casino dealer. Now his ticket to stardom was when he hooked up with Jerry Lewis. They did a film in 1950 called At War with the Army, and this led the team to superstardom. They were together 11 years and did 16 movies. Then for personal reasons, the team broke up and they each went their separate way. Dean Martin ended up making a film in 1959 called Rio Bravo, and that led to international fame. And he was a member of the Rat Pack. Do you remember the other 4? Come on, you know who they are. Frank Sinatra, Sammy Davis Jr., Joey Bishop, and Peter Lawford. These guys were all in movies and great talents, and they used to perform together in Las Vegas, LA, New York. They were a huge hit as the Rat Pack. They were known as this party group, and they had a lot of fun together and performing that way on stage and what have you. Now you may be asking yourself, well, Dean Martin was always on stage getting drunk, wasn't he? Wasn't he drinking a lot? No. He was drinking apple juice, folks. He couldn't perform all the time if he was drunk. He was drinking apple juice. It was part of his stitch. You know, he was Mr. Cool. He was the king of cool. He had his drink, you know, and he had his cigarette, and good-looking guy, good singer. He was Mr. Cool at the time, and everybody loved Dean Martin. But he was drinking apple juice, folks, apple juice. Now, in 1965, he did the Dean Martin Show, and he won a Golden Globe Award for that. And later in life, he did the Dean Martin Celebrity Roast. Remember the Celebrity Roast? And Foster Brooks was on there many times. This was a great roast. They would take a celebrity like Lucille Ball or Bob Hope or somebody, and they would roast them. And they would be roasted by other celebrities. You had Don Rickles on the show. They had John Wayne, Henry Fonda, Wilt Chamberlain, Muhammad Ali, Ronald Reagan, Dom DeLuise, Sid Caesar. So many great talents on this show of Dean Martin hosted, this Dean Martin Celebrity Host. He was married 3 times and he had 8 children. Now, Dean Martin was a very heavy smoker, and this led to his death because he died of lung cancer in 1995 on Christmas Day at his home in Beverly Hills, California. Now, I got a little Dean Martin story for you. Since I gave you a Foster Brooks story, I got to give you a Dean Martin story. You know, I'm from LA, and of course, Dean Martin, you know, was living in LA and Beverly Hills, and I had a friend that told me that he used to see Dean Martin all the time. This was later in life, prior to him passing, that he used to see him all the time at this local diner. I believe it was in the West Hollywood or in the Los Angeles area. But I can't remember the name of the diner. But he used to go to this diner and he would see Dean Martin in there all the time. He was older and he was ill at this time. And he would go sit by himself and he wouldn't bother anybody. But occasionally people would come over and ask him for an autograph, and he was always very gracious. Well, my friend decided, you know, I got to go talk to him, or I got to get an autograph. But he was always kind of nervous. He always thought a lot of Dean Martin, and he didn't know how to approach him. Well, one day he was in the diner, and he just happened to be right by Dean Martin, and they ended up in a conversation, and he said, you know what a very nice and gracious man. And that's nice to hear. Now we've got another clip of Dean Martin and Foster Brooks roasting Don Rickles on the celebrity roast that Dean Martin hosts. Are you ready, folks? Are you ready, Marvin? That second clip's a doozy. Let's do it. Roll the clip.
Speaker has never met Don Rickles. Boy, that's a lucky guy. But he asked especially if he could come here tonight just to pay tribute to him. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please welcome Mr. Foster Brooks?
Thank you very much. As the Puerto Rican gentleman just told you, I have never met Don Rickles. In fact, he's probably wondering what I'm doing here. He has never even seen. He has never seen me before. He has never heard of me, and our paths have never crossed. However, Mr. Rickles, you and I do have an indirect relationship. You see, I'm fooling around with your wife.
Well, what do you think about that clip? Very, very funny clip. These two guys were just awesome. I can't say enough about them. I hope you've enjoyed this report. Put down in the comments what your thoughts are. And put down if you've ever met Dean Martin or Foster Brooks. I'd love to hear the stories. I'm sure there's got to be some great stories out there. And if you noticed, these two great talents, they never used any bad language. It was an era where they could make fun of each other. Nobody was sensitive. You could have great comedy, great entertainment, and it was wholesome for the whole family. That's the kind of entertainment we got to get back to. Not a lot of this nonsense they're putting out there today. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this report. I'm Steve S.H. Walters reporting for Breaking News 500. Have a great day.